Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Well, I'm in a little bit of a dilemma with this Airwolf model kit that I'm building. I'm unable to locate an aftermarket window piece. I'm unable to find a very affordable Airwolf kit that I can kind of use those parts out of. And there's a couple of companies out there that used to create these kits, but no longer exist. AMT Ertl no longer exists. I believe there's a company called Kitech that stopped producing the models back in 2011 or something like that. And then, so the models that are being produced right now are very expensive, or at least the ones that are being sold are very expensive. They're 40, 50, 60 bucks or more. I've seen one for 150. It's just incredible. So I think I'm going to have to just kind of cut out some clear plastic, put it in as a window, and just go that route. So we're going to try to take care of that, and I'm going to show you what I'm thinking as we go through this together. All right, so let's get started. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Okay, we're getting towards the end here, and like I said in the introduction, I am having quite a time, my friends, figuring out what to do for these missing windows here, which would be these two top windows right here and right here. And then of course, the two windows down at the bottom. So I think what I've decided to do is cut out some plastic and try to kind of make it fit. So we'll see how that works. I am going to work on that and get that to you hopefully by next week. So we'll get that going. But for this week, we're going to continue the build, and this is pretty straightforward. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to, well, we already connected the intake port on both sides of these guys. And by the way, these are pretty solid today. As you remember last time, we were a little worried that they would be flimsy, but no, the cement to plastic directly is making it really solid. So I'm happy with that. Now, keep in mind, obviously, any little, I mean, you could definitely force it off and twist it off. And so you want to be very delicate with these guys, but they're on pretty good. So I'm going to leave it like that. So we did that. Now we're going to get these Airwolf body panels left and right put on the body. We're going to not install the windshield or the radar scoop. We're just going to work on the refueling nozzle and the laser rods, as well as these body panels. So let's go ahead and take care of that. And we should be much closer to the very end. All right, here we go. All right, let's do the port side first, right? Port side. Remember, this is going to cover both of these windows, so we don't have to worry too much about getting that set. So let's do that now. I'm going to use this reference picture to kind of align. And this point right here, that's going to be my point of alignment. So that is that right there. So we're pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and start the process here. By the way, these little tires have been falling off on me quite frequently, which is a little frustrating. So I might just go ahead and get rid of these. Unfortunately, they're not really helping. So I'm going to get rid of the tires. I was hoping that they'd be more solid, but on this old kit, they're not. Glue is starting to really harden up. Again, it just takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds for this cement glue to kind of really grasp on. And once it's on, it'll come off, but you don't have to really press down too much unless you really want to make sure it's a real tight fit. And on this particular model, I think we're okay with this. Let me just make sure to put a little bit more glue here, and I'll wipe it off. Just to kind of cement all this in. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you right now, so the back of this looks pretty like a really good fit. The front, there's a little gap right at the front there. It's not as noticeable unless you're really, really looking. So if you're looking at it from the side or from other places, you should be all right. I am pressing down quite a bit on this side to get that gap to close, but when I let go, it kind of comes back. All right, let's go to the next side. I'm going to try to smooth out this little area here in the front. I have a feeling it's due to the intake valve, the intake ports that we put in here last week. So let me try to even those guys out. Okay, my friends, so just a quick little lesson learned for you. So these little intake ports here that are right at these guys need to be sanded down from the inside so that the panel will fit. Okay, so I did that on one side, I didn't do it on the other. And I will tell you that I've got a good panel fit right here at the front on this side. And this one has a little bit of a gap. I mean, it's negligible. I'm not too worried about it, but it is there. So I'm going to just leave it as such. What a crazy little thing to do, but the little things make a difference. So if you are going to build this old kit, and it is an old kit, it's not in circulation right now. Although I have seen a few that are starting to pop up here and there. So yeah, FYI, just so you know, and I think I told you this earlier, but this particular kit is no longer in production. So I've been having a great time here trying to find those spare pieces. And the kits that are for sale are very, very expensive. I don't want to spend that extra money on it. I just want to go ahead and just finish this one up. And I will tell you, I'm really happy with the way this is actually looking with these panels on. This really does make a difference on the kit. So real happy with that. I will be filling in a few of these gaps, so we'll be all right there. And we're going to let this thing kind of dry out. And while we're doing that, let's move on. There's a couple more pieces that need to be attached. Let's go back. Okay, so basically we got rid of a few pieces here, so let me just mark them out so we know. All right, so we did the intake ports last week. I just finished the body panels. I'm going to skip the windshield and the radar scoop for now. That's this piece and this piece. I'm going to skip those two pieces for now, only because I need to get in there. So the plan for these windows here, this one, and the two at the bottom, what I'm thinking of doing before I put the radar or the windshield in is I'm thinking I'm going to stick a piece of tape under here and just kind of maneuver it under there, and then have it just get that tape right underneath, have it taped up here, and then maybe a piece of scotch tape, and then outline this thing on the piece of tape. And then once I do that, I'll peel it off, do the same thing on this side, and then use that outline and cut on the outside of it, not on the inside of it, but the outside of the outline to get that there. And then over here, I may use some masking tape or something against this and kind of get the impression of it, and then use that as my guide. So wish me luck on that. That's going to be crazy. So you'll see all the mistakes on film once I get to that point. But for now, let's finish up what we're doing here, and let's continue. All right, so the next step here is we're going to go to the refueling nozzle number 56, which would be this little guy. And let me tell you, I was a little worried that I had lost it because I did not see it anywhere, but it's this thing, and it was loose. It was loose in the box. So thankfully it's not lost, it's just loose. And so let me just kind of sand off the excess on the part that's going to get on the body of the ship. All right. Again, remember, I know this looks messy right now, but once this thing gets primed, all this stuff that's messy looking, it's gonna go away because we're gonna prime it all. And obviously when we prime the ship with primer, we're gonna cover up things like these windows here, the windows we put in here, and the windshield and all that, so that they don't get any primer on them. The rest of the ship can be primed or have primer on it, because obviously we're going to paint everything black, white, silver, chrome, whatever it is. These little nozzles I'm going to protect since they turn. I'll protect them while we're priming because if you spray them, obviously they'll really stick. So we're probably going to protect them and do this part with a brush. So, you know, we'll move along with that, but this looks pretty good. I like the way that came out. There's the refueling nozzle. Now let's go to let's go ahead and do the laser rods, and we'll move on to that next. So we did the refueling nozzle. We did the body panels. We did the intake port. Now let's go to the laser rods, which would be these guys, 43. And I know for a fact that I have 43. I'm using some really coarse sandpaper because the flash on this is very, very bad. So this is coming off nicely. Now these guys go like right at the tip bottom, it looks like. Yeah, so there's one here. Yeah, I see it. Okay. Let's do this thing. So there you got the two laser rods going, and of course the refueling nozzle right there. Last part of this part would be the belly cannons. So let's do that. So the belly cannons have been cemented on. They're good and tight there. And that is the last part of this stage of assembly. So I am liking what's happening here. I really like the way this looks. I like the way everything's going onto this. This is really looking good. I will tell you that, again, I'm saving the radar scoop. That piece, I'm going to save this for the end because of the fiasco with the windows. If I'd had the windows already installed, well, of course, we'd almost be done here. But let me just test fit this. I'm going to go ahead and sand out the extra flash. All right, and let's do that right here. So this piece here kind of goes on like this way, and it's going to interfere, I believe, with the windshield. Like the windshield should be put on first, and then this radar. This is called the radar scoop, number 57. And so as you can see right there, it's, you know, it'll lock in the windshield. So I'm going to save this piece to the end and the windshield to the end. Thankfully, I do have the windshield. And once we get these windows in and the bottom windows, we'll, you know, fix it all up and do everything. The inside cockpit is the color it's supposed to be. I'm going to leave it like that. There's a post I saw on Facebook the other day that mentioned that the inside cockpit changed all kinds of colors over the years. And of course, you know, it's a TV show, right? So they reused different, you know, sets over and over, and it changed over the years. The color went from gray to black to gray to black. It doesn't matter. This is what we're going to leave it as, and we're going to continue the build next week. All right. My friends, thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. There's a Facebook group for Airwolf builders as well. I forget the name of it, but you can definitely join that group. It's public. It's open to the public. And there's some great advice there. Some of those guys gave me some good tips on on this. Like I mentioned earlier, somebody actually mentioned the Kitech kit. I looked it up. Unfortunately, it's out of production. Kitech stopped producing it back in 2011. Other than that, good group of people. Everybody has that affinity for this particular chopper, like we all did. Okay, my friends, until next week, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again.